You know how in those old sci-fi movies, they're always looking for UFOs with these huge, expensive satellites?
Right.
Well, get ready to flip the script, because today's deep dive is all about cider.
Ah, cider.
This system says, why not use the most powerful tool we already have?
We
Our
do.
own biology.
That's a fascinating approach. What's really cool about cider is how it tacks into something we totally take for granted.
What's that?
The human visual system.
Yeah. Our eyes are pretty amazing when you think about it.
Absolutely.
I was looking at the source material for this. More about the cider UFO UAP detection approach .pdf.
Mm-hmm.
And get this, it says our eyes have something like 576 megapixels.
That's incredible. And it's not just about how sharp the image is. Our eyes can handle these massive shifts in brightness. That dynamic range the source talks about. You know, when you go from like super bright sunlight into a dark room and you can still see.
Yeah.
Our eyes adjust like it's nothing. That's so important for spotting something unusual against the backdrop of the sky because the light is always changing.
True.
And the way our brains are wired to instantly pick up on sudden movements.
Oh, tell me about it. It's like when you're about to doze off and then, bam, you see something out of the corner of your eye.
Exactly.
9 times out of 10, it's just the cat. But still, our brains are like, whoa, what was that?
Our brains are hardwired for that. And the speed, it's mind-blowing.
How fast are we talking?
The source says our brains process that kind of visual information in about 13 milliseconds.
Seriously, 13 milliseconds.
That's what it says.
No wonder I can never find my keys. My brain's too busy looking for UFOs. But really, 13 milliseconds. How does that even help when these things, these UAPs, they're here and gone in a flash?
And that's exactly why cider is focusing on this. These UAPs, or UFOs as most people know them, they often show up for a brief moment, move in these weird ways, and then vanish.
They don't make it easy for us, do they?
Nope. And traditional radar systems, even cameras sometimes, they might miss them entirely.
I could see how that would happen.
Or they might only capture a tiny piece of what happened.
So we need something faster, more responsive.
Exactly. That's where we come in. Humans. With our wide field of vision and incredibly fast processing, we're way more likely to at least register that something unusual just happened.
Okay, so our eyes are these incredible UAP detectors.
Right.
But cider doesn't stop there.
No, not at all.
It's about the power of a lot of eyes.
It really is.
We're talking billions of people on this planet.
Exactly.
It's like this massive crowd all looking up.
Think of it this way. Even the most advanced radar we have,
Yeah,
they're stuck in one spot, right?
that's true.
Limited by their location.
Makes sense?
They have blind spots.
Oh, definitely.
But humans,
We're everywhere.
we're constantly on the move all over the globe.
Yeah, it's like
No single location is off limits.
it's like trying to put security cameras over an entire stadium
Right.
versus just having people actually look around.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no comparison. But okay, I have to ask.
Go for it.
Crowdsourced data. Doesn't that come with its own issues?
Like what you?
You know, people making mistakes, misinterpreting things, seeing what they want to see.
I see where you're going with this.
How can cider be sure it's getting reliable info?
That's a really valid point.
It has to be a concern. Yeah.
It is. Crowdsourced data can be messy.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
So how do they deal with that?
Well, cider's got a clever way of addressing this.
Okay, how so?
It's not just about people saying they saw something, you know?
right.
Think about it. Pretty much everyone's walking around with a high-tech data collector in their pocket.
Their smartphone.
Exactly. And cider uses that to its advantage.
I see what you mean. We've got cameras, GPS timestamps built right in.
Precisely. High-quality photos and videos.
Oh.
Pinpoint location data timestamps all submitted through the app.
So it's not just like a fuzzy memory someone's reporting.
Not at all. This is documented evidence.
That's really smart.
It's like having millions of mini investigators out there.
I love that. Each with their own little toolkit to document and verify what they're seeing.
Exactly.
And if you've got multiple people all reporting the same thing from different places,
Yes,
can cider use that to like pinpoint where it's happening?
they can. It's called triangulation.
Triangulation.
Okay.
It's really quite cool.
I'll be honest, geometry was never my strong suit back in school. So how does that work exactly?
Imagine you're trying to find where a band's playing
Okay.
just by listening for the music.
Got it.
The closer you get, the louder it is,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
Now, if you have a bunch of people listening from different spots,
Okay.
you can compare their locations and how loud the music is for each of them.
To figure out where the band's playing.
Precisely. Triangulation with cider uses a similar concept. Wow, that's...
By analyzing the different viewpoints from users who report the same event and
Uh-huh.
combining that with their GPS data,
That makes sense.
the system can map the object's actual position in 3D space.
It's a high school geometry class.
Right.
Just collided with a UFO investigation.
Who knew those triangle calculations would be so useful?
This is incredible. So it's like we're building this giant network
Yeah.
of citizen scientists all armed with their smartphones,
Right.
creating this like real-time global UFO detection grid. It's amazing.
That's a pretty cool concept.
Does this mean, though,
What's that?
that we can ditch all those billion-dollar satellites?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Just have everyone point their phones at the sky?
Not quite.
No.
It's not about replacing everything we have. It's more like using the best of both worlds.
So human observation and the high-tech stuff.
Exactly. A partnership.
I like it. Okay, but this all sounds incredible in theory.
Sure.
But has this human element actually helped in any real UAP investigations?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, the source talks about two cases, the Phoenix Lights and the USS Nimitz encounter.
Oh, those are classics. Phoenix Lights, that was back in 97, right?
Yeah, 1997, thousands of people saw this huge formation of lights over Arizona.
V-shaped, right?
That's the
I
one.
remember hearing about it. Wasn't just some hoax or something?
Well, there have been some explanations put forward, but the thing is,
Right.
the sheer number of reports from credible witnesses.
Like, whoa.
We're talking police officers, even the governor at the time.
Wow, so it wasn't just some random people seeing things.
No, not at all. It made it impossible to just brush it off.
That's wild. So what happened? Did they ever figure it out?
The Phoenix Lights sparked a lot of serious investigation, actually. And it's still going on today.
You're kidding. All these years later.
It's a true mystery.
And the USS Nimitz. That one always creeps me out a little.
What is it about that one?
I don't know. Maybe it's because it involved fighter jets. Like encountering something truly strange.
Yeah, in 2004, pilots off the USS Nimitz, they tracked this object
On their radar.
on radar, and they described these movements that just seemed impossible.
Like defying physics.
Defying physics.
So this wasn't just like a visual glitch or something.
No, they had it on instruments, too, which is what makes the Nimitz case so fascinating.
It's like you've got the sophisticated radar data,
Yeah.
these firsthand accounts from highly trained observers.
Pilots who are used to seeing all sorts of things in the sky.
Right. And they were stunned.
Totally. They talk about its movements, the lack of any visible engines or anything.
Like, how was it even flying?
Exactly. And it's those descriptions that really elevate this
From just a blip on a radar screen.
to one of the most credible UAP encounters we have.
So CIDR is really trying to tap into that same kind of synergy.
Exactly. That
Right.
combination of human observation and technology.
Not just more eyeballs.
But smarter eyeballs.
Putting those observations into context,
Mm-hmm.
analyzing them in a way we haven't been able to before.
And here's something else to think about.
Okay, hit me.
If every observation is important,
Yeah?
even seeing nothing becomes really interesting.
What do you mean?
Imagine if CIDR helps us map out
Look.
not just where these UAPs are.
But where they're not.
Exactly.
Like, absence is evidence. I never thought about it that way.
It's a whole new way of looking at things.
This whole deep dive has been mind-blowing.
It's a fascinating topic.
Learning about CIDR, how our own biology combined with technology might help us crack this whole UFO mystery.
Who knows what we'll find?
That's the exciting part.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of CIDR. It's been a wild ride.